Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Tech Talk with Kiran. So we are starting a new brand series playlist React tutorial. So mostly we'll discuss about the practical sessions only. So I'll show by the code the step by step. So what is the React JS? So before going to the React JS, we need to discuss about the how the traditional communication is, the client server communication is. So in traditional days, I mean before the Angular or React doesn't came into the framework side, so how the traditional communication works like. Okay. So initially when we type into the client is nothing but a browser. Okay, let's take if I click onto something like www.yahoo.com or www.google.com, so it will go to the server. So and it will open the page. So the page should be the contains like links, images, and everything. So if you click on the image or a page, anything, so again it will go to the server, and the web page will be, and the link or the web page, then again it will come to the server, and the entire page is reloaded, and again it will be rendering into the browser. So for every request and every response, it's keep on loading. So let's see if the image, if you want to go to the next page, so once we click on the next button, so again it will go to the server side. So and again the page will be, the whole page will be the re-rendering. It means the whole DOM, the web page of whole DOM is rendering. So it's nothing but the wait, I mean the loading capacity is the performance issue of the client will be the more. So this is how the traditional client server communication. So this is called as a server side rendering. So previously we used it for, in Java side we use it for the JSPs. So to reload the complete HTML, and and in the HTML contains the JavaScript code. So this is how the traditional communication is there. But it's keep on the website, the keep on the UI technologies are evolved. So many frameworks are came. So Angular and the React, so many frameworks, Vue.js, so many frameworks are came. So this is how the traditional communication will be there. So this is called the server side loading. So the traditional, but how the React applications will work. So the React applications work, let's say this is an example of the client is nothing but a browser. If you click on, let's say if the page is divided into the multiple parts like the header, footer, left panel, right panel, like this, the page can be divided into the multiple sections. So if you click on that section, if you click on the data for that section, so it will go to the API, server side, and it will fetch the data by using the REST APIs, and the data will be rendered only that particular section. Let's say if I have the 5 sections. Okay, let me open the paint. So see, this is the page. Let me take this one. Okay, it contains header, and the same way it contains the left panel, and it contains the body, and it contains the footer. Okay, so this is how it is. So this is the header. Okay, let me type it is header, left panel. This is the left panel. This is the main content area, main content area, and this is the footer panel. Let's say if the header has some sections, so if I want to load the data for this header, if header contains the multiple links of an account, let me click on this link. It contains the multiple links like this. Okay, if I click on this link, so this will go to the REST API call, and it will fetch from the data, it will fetch from the server, and this session will be the loaded. So the beauty of the React is virtual DOM. Okay, let me go to the PPT. See, this is how the React will work. Now the next section, let's go to the React introduction now. So React.js is an open source JavaScript library. So this is not the framework. So we cannot develop end to end using by the from the React. So the React is an just a JS library, JavaScript library, and to create a user interfaces, okay, for UI framework. So it's not a framework like a Angular. It's used mostly for the larger applications. So we can use for the smaller applications as well. So the benefit when compared to the Angular with the React is if the enterprise application is keep on growing. So the Angular is a component based approach. So mostly it contains the hoops concepts. Okay. So if the component is grow, if the application is increasing, if the application is grow by grow and increasing every day, the complexity of the application is more. But while developing with the React, the application will be the very simpler by using the hooks. So there are many concepts. Okay, so we can see in the practical sessions in one by one. I'll explain a detail in everything with the detailed explanation with every single concepts. Okay, fine. So React was developed by Facebook. So yeah, that's nothing but a Meta. Now the renamed as Meta, which was developed in 2013. So React is mainly, I already discussed it, right? React is mainly discussed, mainly focused on the declarative syntax and virtual DOM. Let's say everybody knows the document object model. So in traditional days, the entire DOM will be the rendered. So the in UI in the browser in the if the DOM renders heavily, I mean if the DOM reloads completely, the web page will be the heavy. So whatever the section or the whatever the parts, the updated DOM. So that is the concept of the virtual DOM. So whatever the section, let's say if I click on the accounts, so the entire page will not be reloaded. So the account section will be loaded in the main content area. See how the bank websites is. So that is nothing but a single page application. So the beautiful concept came from the React and even Angular is also. They are called a single page application. Only one page is there. If the if the content will be loaded, the particular section will be the loaded. The entire page will not be reloaded. That is called the single page applications. Okay, and React is a component based architecture. So mainly there are the React is also class based components is there, that is called as a pure component based architecture, and there is called as a functional components are there. So functional we can develop using with the functions only. So there is a beautiful concept provided by the hooks. So we can achieve the same uh, class based concepts how the React was introduced in the later in previously, the same way we can achieve by using the hooks. So you can write the custom hooks as well. So that is how the React introduction is. So by using the React we can develop the UI pages very easily and easily to debug. And so the look and feel will be the very easy. So everything will be the function. So wherever it is required we can add those functions. So we can go with the practical sections one by one. So that is a very you can understand easily how React is simpler. Okay, so what are the main features of the React? So the main features of the React is component based architecture. It is also component based architecture, whether it is a class based or the function based. So it is nothing but a component based architecture. Okay, the first one. The second one is the JavaScript extension. This is the beauty of this in the React. So why? Because in traditional way, you are writing the JavaScript code. If the application is becoming a grower and grower, it is becoming a bigger. You need to write the more JavaScript code. So then it is very difficult to maintain and it is very difficult to debug. But while using the JSX, using the ECMAScript, so the development is very simpler. Even the backend developers also can develop the React very easily. Okay, next. The next one is the virtual DOM. We'll discuss this. What is the actual DOM and what is the virtual DOM and how it will be rendered easily in the separate in the separate example. So what are the section that we already discussed it. Only that particular section. If you click on the hyperlink, only that section will be the rendered. So that is how the virtual DOM will works. And Here it contains only one way data binding. Okay, there is no two-way data binding like React, like Angular. Sorry, like Angular. In React, we have only one-way data binding, that is using the props. Okay, we'll discuss that in the practical sections. And the performance is too good by using the React when compared to the other frameworks as part in the market. Because the beauty concept behind is virtual DOM, and all are components. So everything we can React is called as a component. So that is called as a component based architecture. We initially discussed it, right? This is a component based architecture. So like this, so these are all components. Let's say one is header bar component, footer bar component, main content component. In the main content, there are the few buttons component. Like this, we have defined the multiple components, and the final one is single page application. So the only one application is there. The entire page contains the only one application with the multiple sections or the multiple panels. If required, based on the user clicks and based on the user interaction, that particular section is loaded. So that is nothing but a single page application. Instead of loading the entire web page, it will load that particular section by using the DOM re-rendering. That's it. Thank you. We'll be continuing in the next session. So we'll continue with the how to set up the React from the in our machine, in your laptop or a desktop. What are the prerequisites is required, and we can start with the simple steps. We can start with the simple thing, and we will go to the depth. Okay, that's all. Thanks everyone. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.